Hey everyone, welcome to Cross Culture Critic. I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe.
And welcome to the show, and welcome back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think, we record a couple at a time, and I think, what was it, October? Beginning of October? We recorded last?
Yeah, because I don't think we did, it was pre-Halloween.
It was, way
like 2 weeks prior to Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, and then we recorded, I think, 2 or 3 at that time.
Yeah.
And then I did the episode with Joe Zaragoza on the movies. And then we did 2 weeks where we just could not sync up to record. Like just craziness on both our ends. So we are back, though, and we're going to lay down a few tracks tonight.
That's right.
I think will get us through December.
That's biz talk
it is.
Record a couple episodes.
I just said it sounded cool.
I know, you are so part of the biz.
Yes, yeah. So how you been?
I've been doing well. I've made some progress in my life in certain areas.
Oh, we're definitely gonna get to that.
Yeah. So everything's great. My daughters were in cheerleading and they won their big cheer competition. So
nice.
That was a teaching lesson. They were complaining because the weeks leading up, all the other cheer teams practice like twice a week for like an hour a day, and they did 5 days a week, 3 hours a day. So they were doing, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then and then they having to do homework and all that stuff. So they did it, but all the hard work paid off, and they got first.
And when they complain about that, that's when you get to say it's character.
It is.
Building character. You go, give me the house to myself for a few hours, but it pays off.
I was able to play a little Call of Duty and all that stuff. So
great. No, good to hear. Yeah, we're busy. We are. We've got school wrapping up in like 3 weeks, so I've got projects due. I was just telling you before we start recording, I've got movie days next week as we're narrowing that down. So I've got like 7 movies I'm seeing on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So busy stuff, and we are recording this 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you got plans for that? Big plans?
It's going to be here. It's going to be here at the house, and so I started tidying it up. And like I said, I just got my carpets cleaned, and then my dog came in and got them all muddy. So I'm going to kill him as soon as this podcast is over.
Now do you cook the turkey and everything?
My mom comes. So see, it's perfect because
I
have the room.
You open the house
here.
and they bring the stuff.
Exactly. They come, they cook. In fact, my mother and my sister will be here tomorrow to clean my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's fun times.
We hosted last year Thanksgiving and Christmas, and my wife had to do it all. And had to in the fact that she wanted to.
Yeah.
And we had to clean. It was stressful. It was nice to not go anywhere. Like, that's always nice on the holidays when people come to you.
And you can use your own private bathroom.
You don't have
to be at somebody's house like, oh my gosh, I think I got to take a dump.
Yeah.
And then you got to ask them if they have some crazy far away because they're always going to have a bathroom right next to the living room.
And the fan breaks.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Well, kind of to kick things off along those lines too, we do have an icebreaker, and like you said, you've been having some progress. I kind of watched it on Facebook. You've had some very moving progress.
It unfolded.
Big movements in your life.
Big movements in my life. So I posted. It's probably one of the most commented posts I've ever put on Facebook. But I put on Facebook that after like 15 to 20 years, I was finally able to poop in a public bathroom. So slow clap into the roar. Pretty much pooping in a public bathroom has always been a phobia of mine growing up. So I just don't like it. I don't like, obviously there's the whole hygiene of a public bathroom. So that's on most people's radar. But they can handle it, obviously, when nature calls. For me, there was always something that like, this is the God's honest truth. I would rather like go outside and crap in a paper bag than use a public restroom because there's just something about it. There's just something about it that I can't stand and doesn't allow me to do it. But when I was in the Insiders, obviously I'm on tour for months at a time, weeks at a time, and I would do it, but it's always like there's other guys, you know what I mean? Like, so we would call it tag teaming. I don't think that's something that we made up, but you tag team. So like 2 of you go in. So if you go in groups, you're okay. So we'd be in a truck stop or something, chit-chatting with the guy next to us, another band member or something. So it was like strength in numbers. Well,
Wait,
now,
were you afraid you were gonna get like murdered in the bathroom?
No. I don't know what
Fall
it is.
in, or...
I don't know what it is. I think it's. I mean, we could get really detailed in this. I don't have a problem going there, but I'm sure listeners may. But just everything, like if you're making sounds, if you're just tearing it up in the odor and all that stuff.
Oh, so they like knock on the door. Hey, someone's in here.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
like if someone sees like my shoes underneath the thing, and then you come out into the restaurant and people see, like, those shoes were under that stall, and that guy was tearing it.
He was
up.
poopy.
Yeah, that
Oh
guy's
my God.
disgusting. Like that just that's always kept me from doing it. Well, so if I ever have to go, I have like plans, like fire escape plans for if I ever have to, do stuff, or when I'm at work. Like I always go to work, or I have, my girlfriend's house on one side of town, my mom's house on another side of town, the police station. So there's fire stations I can use and things like
Wow.
that. Yeah, so I always plan. But the other day at this cheerleading competition, I'm in an area that I have no clue. I don't know anybody. In a high school. Now, mind you, there's probably 2,000 people there, and probably, 1,500 of them are women, and then, 500 men, and you're all sharing a bathroom and stuff like that. But I think I kind of found there was like one of the good teams was cheering and doing like their dance routine, and I was like, this is my chance. And I had Jersey Mike's, and so that kind of went through me. And so I hit the restroom, and I went in there, and it was empty, and I was like, yes. And so I went in there and I took a dump, and as soon as I was out, I was washing my hands, and like the first guy came in, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Guess what I just did?
Exactly. I wanted to tell somebody, so I like immediately Facebook posted.
Did you like smell that?
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't, because I was just like, I don't know who tore it up in here. That's gross. I just peed.
Pathetic.
Right. Oh, some sicko. But so I was able to actually go in a public place.
Well, I think that's huge progress. In your
Yeah,
life.
I might
think
do
it's
it. I
brave
might do
to
it
admit that.
more often.
Nice.
And I think the older I get, I'm like, because now that like I did it, I'm kind of like, well, I don't care now.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done it again, and I'm sure.
But it'll be easier.
But like,
the next time.
I'm gonna be flying to Hawaii soon. And
airplane.
exactly,
Yeah.
that is my biggest fear, is having to take a dump on an airplane. Excuse me, on an airplane. And so I hope to God, I told my, I keep hiccuping. I told my girlfriend I was going to go on an all liquid diet.
That might not be wise.
Starting the day
might backfire
after. Really?
Yeah, I would
starting
think
the day
like, too many
after.
liquids you want to be like dried out.
Well, but you don't want solids, because the liquids are
That's
going
true,
to
too.
exit through urine,
Okay,
and
yeah.
the solids you want to get out of your system.
Yeah,
before you
I'd be
go.
worried about it just getting really bad. Like,
I don't. You know what? I would rather be backed up
okay.
and just go and not have to go. But it's a 13-hour plane ride, so hopefully I can make it to Seattle. And then if I do have to go, I'll
use the airport bathroom.
Airport
You
bathroom.
can do that.
Yeah, and then it's whatever, 5 hours from there, 7 hours from
What do you
there.
do on road trips?
I don't go.
Wow.
I mean, it's like I'll pee, but I hold it. If I drive to Florida, I'll drive to Florida and not poop.
Now, I don't have that issue. Like as long as it's clean, like I'll find a restroom. I won't go to a gas station. That's like a bar I won't cross. But your McDonald's.
You have standards.
I have standards. It's like
Yeah.
you know what fast food establishments will have the best bathrooms. So like McDonald's is usually pretty good. Chick-fil-A the best.
Oh,
like
sure.
Chick-fil-A is the best. But I don't like friends' houses. No. Like, if you're over there for again,
Really?
no. Like, I record my other podcast at a friend's house, like, once a month, kind of like we do here at your house. And it'll usually be a Friday, so it's the end of the week. And I am, like, he lives in an apartment, so it's very close quarters, or a condo, but still very close quarters. And I will sometimes pop Imodium before I go there.
Ooh.
Just on the safe side.
Yeah, just so you don't have to duke it up.
Because, yeah, you don't want people to hear.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to waft out.
Yeah.
But, like, also there's that panicky feeling of, like, flushing and everything coming up. And that's just when you have to keep, like, matches around you and burn the house down.
Yeah.
And just like, nope.
Yeah.
So, but also, like, at work. Like, I don't like going like because I don't like people to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we have a bathroom with 5 stalls, but I'll sit in there, and if someone comes in, I will wait till they leave to get up. Because I'm gonna go back to my desk. I'm gonna be like, I don't want them to think I poop. You know. It's like I have a reputation.
No,
of being
yeah, no. My rectum is clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's.
It never.
I don't do that dirty stuff. So.
Right.
Like a marriage was like the biggest thing. That was when the mystery went out of the relationship. Was the first time when you get married and the other person poops in front of you.
Yeah. See, I didn't like that when I was married. I'd be like using the restroom. Your bathroom, and like my ex would come in. At the time, obviously, she's my wife. She would come in. I'm like, hey, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, my wife wonders why I lock the door to our bathroom.
And I'm like, "This is like my time. Mm-hmm. Like, just this is my little time of privacy, please." And she's like, "Well," she'd be like, "Well, I don't care if you come." And I'm like, "But I'm not ever going to."
Yeah, I don't want to be in there while there's mysteries you need to keep.
I don't.
But then when you have kids, my kids are at this point now where if I'm in there, and that's kind of like whether I have to go or not, that's my time to just tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've got to the point where they'll stick their fingers under the door and
oh Lord,
like,
you just smack it with a shoe.
Yeah, my son will start crying, "Dad, come out, stop pooping."
Oh my gosh, you got to take a golf club and hit his fingers when they come through.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start using the McDonald's by my house. So I think that was a classy way to return after a few weeks off.
Yeah.
You're welcome, listeners.
There you go.
So we're gonna get into our main topic, which Thanksgiving is coming up. And with that, basically Thanksgiving now is kind of the start of the Christmas season. Like, I don't even know that Thanksgiving by a lot of people is celebrated as Thanksgiving anymore as much as it is.
Like kickoff to Christmas.
It's like shopping day.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about Black Friday. I worked in retail for a few years, and, growing up, my dad would spend Thanksgiving morning looking through all the ads. And it's always kind of just struck me weird to have this day of, I'm thankful for everything I have. I don't need anything else. And then the next day or that evening, run out and buy as much as I can.
I just got a 55-inch TV for $50.
Yeah, I don't need anything. God, thank you for all my blessings. I'm going to go trample someone at Walmart to get an Elmo. Right. And so I thought we'd talk about that a bit. Like, well, obviously you said you were working on Friday this year, Black Friday.
Generally in the past, when I was younger, I worked at a grocery store. And I would sign up to work Thanksgiving. Okay. So I would work from like 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning, whenever they opened on Thanksgiving, to 3 o'clock. And then I would, leave at 3, and I would get home, and all the food would be there, and the family would be there. So I could just dive right into eating. And when I was younger, it was like time and a half. Like when you worked, so it was like a little bonus.
And that was on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like with the insiders, we would always take off. We would take off from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Okay.
Was like our month that we would have off. And so I never had to work, obviously, during that. And then once I finished and I worked for the Salvation Army, that was like a very busy time. And Thanksgiving was busy, so I was working on Thanksgiving. And now being a police officer, crime doesn't take a holiday. And so
I feel like that's a tagline to a movie. Yeah. Crime doesn't take a holiday.
Right. Jingle all the way. And so I have to work. This year I happen to have it off because it falls on one of my off days. But like Christmas, any holiday, like I work, I have to work those and whatnot. But it is the kickoff. Black Friday, like I enjoy my Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then Black Friday, I'm not a Black Friday guy.
Okay.
I just order everything online in one day. Bop, 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 bop. I go through everybody, get everything I want for everybody, and basically do it online in one day. And then.
So you're a Cyber Mondayer.
Yeah. I think I would be more of a Cyber Mondayer.
Do you have like a moral stance against, like, I know a few years ago my wife and I went through this whole thing, like, if a store is open on Thanksgiving, we will not shop there Thanksgiving weekend. And...
No. Because, see, I'm not like that because the way this world is right now, the rich are always going to be rich, right?
Sure.
But if some poor schmo can get in a few hours and make a few bucks like me when I was younger, let them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like, if you're being forced to do it on Thanksgiving, that stinks. But if, obviously if you're getting compensated, you're getting double pay, you're getting, whatever the case may be, I just think, I would think a store should, if it's a smaller store, they usually go with their employees and say, do you guys want to work a half day, or do you want to do this, or do you want to do that? If it's a larger company, obviously someone might get stuck in that position, but also if it's a larger company, they're going to get compensated for having to work that day.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, see, I guess I've always approached it from the aspect of someone who worked retail for several years. And I just remember, I worked at Family Christian Store, so we weren't open Thanksgiving Day. But we did Black Friday, and you would have to be in at 5 in the morning. And you were required to work that day. And I don't think it was any, overtime or anything like that. So what I hated was leaving Thanksgiving dinner at 7 o'clock to go home and get some sleep to wake up early the next day.
Yeah.
And then it would just remember being I don't really have an issue with Black Friday. I just don't do it.
Yeah, neither do I.
I have more of a thing with forcing people to come in on Thanksgiving. I think that's something that doesn't sit right with me. I mean, yeah, you bring up a good point with, a lot of people want to make that extra cash. But I think the stores that kind of force people to come in on Thanksgiving Day.
See, to me, Thanksgiving is just a meal.
See, I guess I just think it's a whole day.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, for me it is. We do the parade in the morning, and then we do dinner around 3 in the afternoon, but then you have dessert around 7, so that's an all-day thing for me.
See, I think my life has definitely changed. I hate to keep bringing this up, but post-divorce, but, when you think about all this stuff, you think about family, you think about all that, and so for the last, majority of my life, I was not stuck, but I had this routine around Thanksgiving. But I mean, to me, Thanksgiving was always just, you get together, you eat, and then everybody after that, people are on tablets. My ex's family, they were all on phones and tablets and, kind of movies, and then the guys would all kind of go and watch, around here we have the Detroit Lions that play on Thanksgiving.
Right.
So the guys would all watch football. So it's not this holiday type day.
Yeah, I mean, after dinner,
it's you eat and you stick your hand down in your pants, loosen your belt, or undo your pants altogether so you can breathe, and then you just kind of chill. So that was always Thanksgiving to me. Now, lately, since I'm removed from that, to tell you the truth, I don't think it's changed all that much. My family comes over here to my house, we kind of celebrate, and then, I think around 5 o'clock, everybody kind of leaves, and then we just chill and do whatever the rest of the day. Go see a movie, go do whatever. Thanksgiving to me is just a nice meal for a 2-3 hour period. Now, Black Friday, I don't have a problem at all with Black Friday, because I just see that as another fun thing people do. If you're going to be the weirdo that goes out to hurt people to get what needs to be bought, there's something wrong. But if my experience from my family, it's always been the women. And so the women would all stay up late looking through all the ads. That's what, after the meal of Thanksgiving, all the ladies would go and they would bring the newspapers to Thanksgiving dinner. They go through all the ads, all the flyers and stuff like that. They plan it all out, and then they would just do an all-nighter and just have a ton of fun. And so they're coming home at 9 in the morning after standing out in front of stores, girl talking, coffee, whatever you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was just a fun
and it might be a different thing, because have you ever gone and done Black Friday ever?
Never.
Okay, I did it once. And I think I swore off it, for the rest of my life. And maybe it's just because I am not a shopper. I had to go, wanted a laptop one year. And this is 2002, so 15 years ago. And I had to get up, there was a good deal, $400 for a nice laptop. I'm all right, I'm going to get up early, I'm going to go to Best Buy, and then I had to be at work in Southfield at 9 that morning. So I get up at 4, and I go to Best Buy thinking, I'm going to be the first guy in line. And
no, they're camped out, man.
No, yeah, they were camped out, and it's all the way around the building. So I wait an hour for them to open the door. I go in, laptop's gone.
Yeah.
They'd already sold out.
Yeah, they have 2.
Yeah, so I'm all right, well, what am I going to do? So I had to be out of work in Southfield, so I went out to the Best Buy out there, and just, it was a cattle stampede. I don't know how anyone has fun with this, because you are just in line, and it's you get out of one line to go in another line, and then you go in this line, and everyone is mad because they haven't had coffee yet. And I remember I finally, like, I left at 4, and I finally got my laptop, like, around 8:30. Like, it was bad. And like, at that point, I didn't even want the laptop anymore, but it was the principle of the thing.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm just going to get my stinking laptop. And
it probably wasn't the one you wanted.
No, it was. But
it?
I think in hindsight, it was probably a pretty crappy laptop. But, yeah, then I had to go to work that day. I was working at the call center, and so I go there, and I'm already in a bad mood. So I think that soured me on it. But working in retail also, like, I think I just swore when I was done, I'm like, after working all these years the day after Thanksgiving, I will never do it again.
Yeah.
Family Christian Store is by far the craziest place I've ever worked.
See, that shocks me.
It was insane. Like, I would get up at 5 to go in.
And there were 3 people camping outside.
There were probably about 20 lined up outside the door at 6 in the morning.
To get their insider CDs?
It was really, like, the big thing was these stupid $5 plates that said, give us this day our daily bread.
Really?
And they went like crazy. But then, yeah, they'd have like $4 CDs. So you'd go in and, it was like, here's Great Adventure, $4.
Ooh.
Here's Jesus Freak, $4. Here's Hallelujah, $4. And,
what about Testaments? Could you get Testaments?
Oh, Testaments were like $1. Yeah, that was an impulse buy. So it was insane. And it would be like, we'd start ringing people up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And by the time my shift ended, it was maybe 2 in the afternoon. And other than like taking a 15-minute break, you did not stop all day. It was like, by the end of it, it was
the holy water and communion wafers were flying off the shelves.
It was Joel Osteen, like people getting their Joel Osteen on, and like it was insane.
I was talking to my buddy. I'm going to go in a little different direction, a little tangent here. I was talking to my friend the other day. He's a hardcore Catholic. I think I could revolutionize the Catholic communion industry by making flavored wafers.
Ooh.
Why aren't they flavored? Why? Because my church growing up, we would have communion, and we'd have big loaves of bread, and you'd line up, and you'd come up, and you'd tear off a little piece of bread, and you'd take your little thing of grape juice, and you'd go back to the pew. Then they decided to cut cost or something like that, and got those crappy wafers that just taste like nothing. They're disgusting.
Joe, they taste like Jesus.
Right. Well, Jesus tastes like cardboard. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit of mint. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe a little cinnamon sugar wafer.
Get a raisin baked in there or something?
Yeah, something. You got to have those things flavored.
I like that idea. I think that's a venture.
I think so.
I think that's next year. Patreon.
There you go. We're going to get flavored wafers for all you Catholics.
Why does it have to be Catholics? It can be anyone.
Well, they're going to be the major demographic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm shooting for the stars.
They do communion like every week, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go through wafers
once a month.
Yeah, they go through wafers like Catholics go through wafers. You know?
Yeah, and you could actually spin it like I'm marketing, so I'm thinking, how did we make this work? And it's like, oh, well, Jesus is not one race or one ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we are like getting heretical here, but it's it encompasses all flavors of life.
Right, but even to take it back to it, he said, Jesus at the Last Supper said, this bread is my flesh, eat of my flesh in remembrance of me. So he broke bread. He didn't give out wafers. So right off,
yeah, but it was unleavened bread, so that's kind of what these wafers are.
A wafer is not unleavened bread. Let's just be honest.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's a cheap way that they can do a solid, and then you wash it down with your blood of Christ, your wine, or your grape juice. You know what I mean? Like, that has nothing to do with anything. So if you're already completely changing it from bread to cardboard that dissolves in your mouth, why can't you flavor it? Or why don't you just quit being a cheapskate and bring back the bread? You could do like a nice frosted raisin loaf.
Oh, yeah.
Or what was in Seinfeld, the babka.
Oh, yeah, the marble rye, like a little marble rye.
Or the chocolate babka.
You could sneak in a Danish in there every once in a while.
Why can't you? Why can't you do Timbits?
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Like, if you know what? This is what I'm talking about. Like, why? And I would be more than happy on Communion Sunday to kick in $5 and bring in 50 Timbits. If somebody else brings in 50, somebody else brings in 50. You know what? It's fine.
This is my bear claw broken for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Because the symbolism is still, you're cleansing, you're doing it in remembrance of Christ. Why do I have to eat this piece of garbage? You know what I mean?
Do you get the thing at church? I've noticed this at every church I've gone to, and I've gone to a lot of churches where people will eat the bread, the wafer, and it's so dry that you can time this out. 30 seconds after you eat the wafer, you just hear throughout the church.
Right.
Or the best, I went to a church that might have gone for this because they were pretty enterprising with their communion. They got the kind where the cup and the wafer were packaged together. And it was like in cellophane. The wafer was on top of this little thimble of grape juice.
And so everyone had to unwrap it.
Well, they had to unwrap it. But the worst part was the old people in the congregation couldn't get it. Yeah, so
they missed out on communion.
5 minutes, which is, how's it open? I can't get the Jesus out.
That's funny.
Wow. I did not expect us to take that tangent, but I am so glad we did.
Yeah.
Wow. If anyone is interested in that, hit us up because I'm sure we could come up with all sorts of fun flavors.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you ever have to work in a store on day after Thanksgiving or?
The day after Thanksgiving? Nope, I never worked. Other than in the grocery store, but it's just a grocery store. That's people aren't lining up at 7 a.m. to get Hunt's ketchup.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I never had to work retail, but I had to work for the Salvation Army, where the day after Thanksgiving is the kickoff of the Red Kettle season. So I would be there at 7:30 in the morning, be there till 10 o'clock at night. Doing kettles and getting all that stuff together. So I always missed out on that Black Friday stuff.
We talked about this a while back, but I have so many Salvation Army officers in my Facebook feed for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I pity them this time of year because they just the description of how much they work during that time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm like, wow, I don't know if any other charity does this. 24/7 almost.
Yeah.
And
my friend Mike and Mel, the Mowers, they worked for the Salvation Army. Melanie was the community center director, and Mike was the youth pastor. So Melanie had to run kettles, and she took over for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so over the years, I've been like, you ready for kettles? She's like, don't remind me. I don't want to hear that. Well, Mike just moved to the divisional headquarters, and Melanie took his position as the youth director. And they brought in, God bless him, Jeff Rowland, to fill that community center, position where he has to do the kettles. And so now Melanie, she doesn't have to do kettles anymore. So
But is it expected that everyone in the church is going to sign up for a shift?
Yeah, you would hope. I ran that thing long enough where not everybody took a shift.
Okay.
Some people did the whole, I've done this long enough. It's time for the next generation to do it. And it's like, okay, wow, that's real Christian of you, but it is what it is. I can't talk because since I left the working for the Salvation Army, I don't have the time to go back and help.
You've done your time.
I hope I've earned it. I hope in the eyes of the public and the people at the church, I earned it, but.
Now, here's one thing that surprised me, because I did this a few years ago. I volunteered one night, because we have a mutual friend, and I volunteered to help her years ago with Salvation Army.
That's Aaron Rupasinga.
That is. I was shocked to learn movies have lied to me. You guys, they don't dress up as Santa Claus.
No.
That shocked me, because every movie you see, there's a Santa Claus ringing the bell.
Yeah, no. In fact,
I heard that was frowned on.
It was. I remember, working at the Salvation Army, and one of the rules was don't dress up like Santa, and so you weren't allowed. And now, mind you, some people, some volunteers would show up, and if they had probably a higher socioeconomic status, they would show up in some nice Santa get-ups. Okay. And I wouldn't say that they couldn't go out. They're going to go out and they're going to do whatever. But as a general rule, they didn't, because we would also have some people that would come in with a coffee-stained, dirty Santa outfit.
Oh, gosh.
Like
that
beard.
Belushi Santa.
Yeah, and the beard was like gray because it was like dirty and dusty. And so you're like, ugh, that just doesn't, like when you look like a homeless Santa, you know, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
So we would just tell people, no dressing up or anything like that, you know, just dress warm. And then the Salvation Army people, like the Salvationists, they would go out like in their uniforms, you know, looking like the flight attendants. And, you know, they would go out there and play instruments. They would say that they would play instruments, but if you're blowing in a horn in the dead of winter, you get about a minute and a half, 2 minutes on that horn, and then your valves are frozen and everything's all frozen up because of the condensation. So they play for a little bit and then they stop and, you know, whatever. But yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy that program. That is part of Christmas for me, is I love seeing that when I come out of places. But I'm glad I don't have to run it anymore.
It's one of the few things where people are asking for money and it's not intrusive. Like I've never, like they don't leave and be, hey, can you give me a few? They're just standing there and toss some money.
You get a Merry Christmas whether you give or not. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have probably ran into the oddball here or there, but as a whole, it's you know, it's a good gig.
So okay, to wrap this up, what are your thoughts? What do you do for Christmas shopping, John? You said online.
Yeah, I'm an Amazon junkie. I do Amazon and I do just online stuff, you know. Okay. This year for Christmas, my girls and I, my gift to them, we're going to Hawaii.
Nice.
So they know that they're kind of not like getting gifts under the tree because their big, you know, gift is going to Hawaii. But they'll get a little something, you know, but obviously, you know, that gift money is being used elsewhere. But yeah, I'm that guy that I want to get something that somebody always is like, oh, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. And I don't think of it until after Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, I'll have gotten something and I feel like I missed the mark. And then like an hour after they open it, I think, oh, I should have got them, you know, whatever. Like I do that to everybody. But I'm like a gift card guy.
Yeah, okay, my wife and I argue about this all the time.
Yeah.
Because I go, like, she's always like, I don't know what to get so-and-so. I'm like, get him a gift card. No, that's so impersonal. That's so...
Yeah.
I'm like, I love getting gift cards.
I love getting gift cards.
And it's personal because you're buying it for the store they like.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
And for me, if anybody out there is looking to buy me a gift, like... Growing up, I would always think, like, who gets somebody, like, a bottle of wine? Like, to me, that's
a great gift.
That's a great gift. Yeah. Like, for me, that's a great gift. Mm-hmm. I could, you know, the rest of my life for birthdays and Christmases and stuff, just a nice, and when I say nice, I mean under $25. You know, under $12, you can get a nice bottle of wine. So I have nothing wrong with that. But yes, on the whole, like I'm not one that goes like crazy and like thinks of all these like amazing things. I just go on, the kids give me their shopping lists, you know, or the Santa list, and I just go through it and get what I talk with their mom. What are you getting them? So we don't double up. And we just kind of go through and buy their stuff.
Amazon's really made it so much nicer.
Yeah.
Like with our kids, I think we spend maybe a half hour Christmas shopping. Yeah. Because we do it online and okay, they're, you know, my son's 5. He's already told us all the toys he wants. Great, we got him. My daughter's 2. She doesn't even know what Christmas is yet.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's like my wife is harder because she, like, we do this thing where we try not to spend a lot because she's freelance. We're always kind of at this time of year waiting to see, okay, who's going to pay on time so we can do our Christmas shopping this week. So we'll have like themes, like get me something to wear, get me a piece of jewelry, get me something I really want, something that's kind of an experience or something. But she's always very specific. I really want jewelry.
This year, that's what she said?
No, a couple years ago. But for a few years, probably because I never bought her jewelry. Uh-huh. And that was always hard because you can't do that online.
Yeah.
Like, that's harder. There's always... Or there's always, like, I like having a rhythm to the gifts. Like, oh, she's going to get this, and then it'll build up to this, and then it'll be this big thing.
Oh, see, that's over my head.
Oh, see, I like that.
See, that's what I liked being married for. Like, my wife would do that. And wife of the future, Molly, hint, hint. I like when they take care of that. You know, and, like, they may talk to me, hey, what do you want to get the kids? And I'll say, and then they go out and they get it, and they wrap it, and they do all that stuff.
See, I'm talking about for her, like for Kelly, when I get stuff for her. The kids, we don't really. What's the big gift, and then what's all the little crap we're gonna get them?
Yeah.
But yeah, for her, like I try to have like a rhythm And then for me, like, I have a problem putting together a list anymore. Like, there's nothing I really want.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, yeah, get me some movies and books. I think this year I did ask for, like, a headset to plug my phone into so I could do VR. But, yeah.
Yeah, for me, a bottle of wine or a meal. Mm-hmm. Like, those are my favorites. Like, like, hey, I got you a gift card to Clausen Steakhouse. I got you a gift card to the Jolly Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Like, that's a fantastic gift. I don't need, well, I probably do need clothes, but I don't want clothes. I'm so picky about everything, that, yeah, just a bottle of wine or a meal is, like, fantastic for me.
Yeah, whatever helps me stay out of a mall makes me happy. I can last about 5 minutes in a mall at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone's going to be calling you to arrest me because I'm probably going to murder someone.
Yeah, not happening with me.
And every year, like, it comes down to, like, the week before Christmas. I'm like, there's 5 things I still need to get. And I will, like, strategically plan. Like, okay, I'll go to Target at this time because it'll be less busy. And I'll go to Kohl's. And I will not go to 12 Oaks. And,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I hate the malls.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so I got to get that started this weekend.
Oh, we'll have fun doing that.
Yeah, that firing up the Amazon there. So we've kind of meandered this podcast, but I like it.
Yeah.
We've talked the classiness of Christmas, but we've also talked poop. We've thought of
communion.
We've thought of
we've gone from poop to communion.
Of a possibly sacrilegious idea.
Ooh,
which should be the
that's what it should be called.
Sacrilegious.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
Chris, we're millionaires.
I think this is
we're sitting on a gold mine.
I expect a call from the Pope tomorrow.
Yeah,
being like, "Hey, I'm into this."
Yeah. Hey, how about the artichoke flavor?
Oh, what about also like packaging different wines so people can choose? Like if they don't like,
like pairing a wine with the flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea.
Good too.
Gosh, we are like tiptoeing to the edge of heresy.
Like do like a Dutch apple, like a Dutch apple wafer, but have like a nice like Merlot or Shiraz that goes with it. Oh, that could be good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Pope, call us. Come on. I know you listen.
Hey, if somebody out there of our 6 listeners knows the Pope, have him call us.
That's right. So yeah, we're going to wrap up because we're going to record another one for you to hear next week. But until then, Joe, where can people find you?
You can find me in Royal Oak patrolling for the Royal Oak Police Department. But you can also find me on Instagram at Jerky. I forget what my name is.
I don't know, but I just started Instagramming, and I am kind of addicted to it.
We may have to talk about that in the next episode.
But I think that's a good thing to talk about, yeah.
All right.
You can find me at CW727 on Twitter. Also, I did not announce this, but I have started a crossculturecritic.com website.
Hey,
I've rolled my writing into this brand. I stopped writing for Pathos, and so yeah, if you go to crossculturecritic.com, I'm going to start posting the podcast there. And also you can find all my writing about film, about parenting, about faith. It's all there, and if you are so inclined, it's all supported by readers. So please feel free to give, but please read. That's the important thing.
There you go.
So we'll see you back in a week.
See you.